Hello and welcome everybody to Reluctant Rebel. I am your host, Mo Zamboni. I hope everybody's having a wonderful start to White Boy Summer. June. June. That's what it should be known as from here on out. June. I am joined by my co-host, the ever-present, because any stream you've seen in the Fellowship, he's pretty much been on it in the last week. It is Alec Baldwin's finger. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm just here celebrating Men's Health Awareness Month, just like everybody else. There's I can't think of a single other thing that this month represents.
Yeah, me neither. I feel like I should be proud of something, but I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe your the account your arch nemesis Alec Baldwin's anus. Maybe he'll enjoy this month, but
Or he won't.
or it depends. Depends on the size. So, and cheers to everybody. I unfortunately drew the short straw. I am one of the GCA adjacent channels that got to be the first in Pride Month. So, sorry.
I mean, it makes sense that it would happen that way.
All right. Anyways, so moving along. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. It's been beautiful weather for the most part. I grilled some burgers earlier and had a drink and just doing my American duty, enjoying the freedoms that we so do not deserve. I thank our veterans every day for giving us the ability to enjoy this wonderful American life. And if you see one in public, make sure you shake their hand and say thank you for your service, no matter how corny you might think it might be. It's the truth. We would not be able to enjoy such freedoms without their sacrifice, because freedom isn't free, people. So, to get right onto it, a lot of stuff happened in the news, and hey, the red-headed ninja, and I had to say that very slowly, in the chat. How you doing, sir? There you go. Finally, Risk It actually says something positive. You bet you damn well. Yes, I like that. I like that very much.
Damn, he actually gave us a compliment. Maybe he feels guilty about that meme he made earlier.
He should. He should. Except for Jess's face. Jess's a Lindstorm. I thought that looked good. So
I like how he made the finger blue.
Everything's good. It's a beaut. Hopefully it's is it up on Twitter? Can we follow it? Did you put it up there?
I didn't put it up.
You got to.
He said that one of us can, but I feel guilty. He needs to make his own Twitter account and put it up there.
Grift or be grifted upon. That's what I say.
True. Yeah, Risk It. I think you should make a Twitter account.
Totally. Just have fun. You would be the best kind of Twitter account because you don't care. You'll just ride that shit into the ground. You'll get yeeted immediately, and that's the best part. No, that's the whole thing. You're ready to go into battle. You don't care if you don't keep your account or not. Get in there. You want to. There's no risk in it. You get the biscuit without the risk it. It's all good.
All right. You know what? All right. Don't make a Twitter account. Don't make a Twitter account. Try this other platform that's out called X. I just learned about it. You should check it out.
Yes, I don't know if it's based, but it's better. So
it's less.
There it is. Thank you. Yes, I agree with the covenant with Noah. I also agree with free flying lessons.
Oof.
No, I'm just saying, like, everybody should learn a new thing. You know, like, you should learn how to fly. Landing is important too. Not in our country, it is. Not in most countries, but.
Well, I mean, to learn a skill, you need to practice. And I heard that there's some good schools in the Middle East that'll teach you. So.
Yeah, but you better get it right on the first try. I'm not gonna lie, it might be a little problematic. The landing might be a bit rough.
It's kind of a passer or a fail situation.
It really is. You're not graded on a scale either. If you land that one, you better learn how to fly. That's all I got to say. That's 10 stories. You know, you got about 3 seconds before you realize, oh shit. So 5 minutes in, I should know better. Yes, We'll put this one up here for literally half a second. Isaac's right. There you go. So hope you guys are having fun. I know you guys were here for last Thursday's emergency stream. That was that emergency needed an emergency, but you know what? It was fun. Everybody was hot. It was good. It'll be up on Rumble whenever I start that channel. Believe me, believe that. But it was way too spicy for YouTube, and that's okay because you know what? We're Americans. We got to push the limits.
I don't remember that episode at all.
Oh, you're right. You know,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't drink enough. Oh well.
Disprove. Yeah.
Disprove.
We did catch that. It's pretty good.
See, he said touche. I'm just saying, risk it for a biscuit would be the most dangerous man on the internet if he got on Twitter because he doesn't care. He just literally doesn't care.
He's already got the avatar for it. That alone would just piss people off when he's saying stuff back to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Nagranol is moving the needle, then you are weak-willed, so we're going to keep pushing it. So Nagranol doesn't exactly excite you. He's just like, oh, you should join. Maybe it's like, yeah, there you go. There you go. Do it, man. Do it. Everybody in the chat, tell risk it for a biscuit to risk it. He doesn't even need to risk it. Just get that biscuit, son. Hashtag get that biscuit. Hashtag get that biscuit.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
That's right.
I think Michael Scott said that.
Sure. Whatever you say. I seem to remember there was a hockey player that had a really hot daughter that said that first, but
no. It was Michael Scott.
He might be from around your area. I'm just saying. But all right, guys. Well, let's just get right into it. We got a lot of good stuff here. Let's start with Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson. I know everybody has their opinions on him. I think he's a good man. He's not exactly my cup of tea. It's not that I don't like him. I just, we all have certain people we like to watch. But I think he tells the truth, and I think he does a really good job.
I prefer Benny Johnson because I like it when things are positive, and he kind of puts a positive spin on things, and it's sort of more white pilly than other content creators out there. So.
Oh yeah, totally. And I agree with that. It's just I have to naturally kind of go into those things and come out of those things. I can't just force myself to watch somebody because I feel like I'm beholden to their point of view right away. Like if I just feel like there's a connection, I just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite there yet, but that's okay. It's just he'll get there, and I really do like. I like his. By the way, I've seen him in person. Don't start a fight with Benny Johnson. That's all I'm going to say. Dude's like jacked.
Yeah.
He's like 5'9", but he is like also like 5'9" this way. He's like shoulders and arms. So don't mess with that man. All right.
Yeah, I got to get a picture with him after the G&G panel in Orlando. That was pretty cool. Super nice guy.
Yeah. Remember there was Ezra from Ahsoka. That was really weird. I know nobody talks about that, but since we got 9 people watching, I figured I'd bring it up. I was like, excuse, that guy's tall as shit, by the way. He's like 6'11", or he was when I saw him.
See, I didn't know about any of this until after the meetup.
No, he was right by my side. I was like, he looks, not that I watched it, but I saw the reviews and I'm like, that guy looks really familiar. And everybody's like, and they brought it up at the meetup. I was like, oh, okay. So we'll have to do this without audio, but the Chadness and the American, the Americana comes through. You don't need to watch it. You can either listen to it, watch it without audio, or you could just be around it when it's just muted and not. You could like if it's playing anywhere, you just feel it. You feel it in your bones. So let's watch it.
You could probably turn the audio on just for a brief moment every once in a while, so people can imagine it.
Also with us.
Nope. There we go. The only reason I said that is it's just like he was just fucking chilling. You're supposed to suck this guy's, Peter, That's just like I'm not a person to get autographs. It's uncomfortable and I don't like it. It's just like he's just chilling. The dude's like chill. That's the reason why he spouts the truth. And people be catching strays because we're at the point in today's world where if you even remotely think it's woke, you just say it's woke.
Hmm.
And that's weird because that's where it becomes a problem because we start there's a great Star Trek The Next Generation episode at the Drumhead, or where they basically are just they're trying to get somebody arrested. It's just like, no, you're like, if it's not there, it's not fucking there, and that's okay. And I think we're at the point where people are starting to get a little too sensitive with it. I literally had somebody tell me like, "Oh, Top Gun Maverick is woke," and I'm like, "Well, okay, by your estimation, the one from 1986 is woke because there's a woman in charge of the flight academy." It's just
Well,
like,
actually, if you want to steer away from the current conversation just for a few minutes,
just
in
for a second,
2019, Top Gun Maverick, maybe it was earlier than that, they actually put the movie on hold for some filming deal, and the Chinese government asked them to like do something with the movie. I can't remember the actual specifics, but it looked like the movie caved to Chinese communist demands, and everybody was upset over the money or over the movie for that particular reason. So
but here's the thing: they said they were like, "Oh, I noticed the Taiwanese flag is gone." Even Ted Cruz brought it up, but you
that
know
was
what?
it.
But you know
Yep.
what? It's in the movie, so they're just like,
Mhm.
"Nah, we're going in hardcore." I love that movie; it was so good.
Oh, I'm so glad that
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
did it
No,
did
that
really
that's the whole
well.
thing.
And
You always hear the most sensationalist stuff, but you got to keep
yep.
your ear to the ground. And that's what I'm telling you, people. That's why, like my 9 to 5, it's more of like a 10 to 4. What are you gonna do? Um, I'm gonna do it the way I want to. But I do marketing. So they'll like the most sensationalist. That's why when you have retractions or apologies, they're always under the table. So you have to pay attention to the whole story, like with the Aaron Rodgers thing, but also with Top Gun. Yeah, no, that they put that because they knew they with a patriotic American movie, it wasn't even probably going to be released in China. If it was, they weren't going to make much money, and if they
Right.
did, they only get 25% of it. So they just said, okay, fine, patriotism, and
Yep.
it killed. I love that movie. It's so good. There's
It's
so many
great.
good. Yeah, even the guy who played Rooster, Goose's son. You could
Mhm.
almost believe that was Anthony Edwards' son. Like it was just like the casting was so good in there.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I like that guy. It's Miles something, right?
Hmm.
He's a good actor.
He's a
He's not
great actor.
utilized enough, I think.
He
So
just he just goes out there and acts and is quiet. And if he does
mhm.
anything, it's just for fun. And you really have to dig for it. Like people have their political opinions. You can find it with everybody. We all know Mel Gibson is conservative. He literally saluted Trump.
Yeah,
We all know, you might not know this or not, but you can probably surmise. Natalie Portman supports Hillary Clinton. Of course she does.
no,
But as long as they're not just waving, like putting up a sign like Robert De Niro, I don't care. That's the whole point. Like everybody has their own different opinion. If you're just out there and you want to entertain me and I have to search for it, if I'm going to search, yes, Mel Gibson is the GOAT. If you don't understand what they're referring to, look up Hug the Cactus. That is a great speech. You've heard that one, right?
I don't remember it.
Oh, let me put that up because that's like literally okay. Robert Downey Jr. is a lefty. He was like pissing and moaning about Trump. But I want to play this real quick while by the way, I did not mean to pause it on Joe Rogan and Trump shaking hands, but this is what happens when you start talking. It comes from the heart. Things just kind of fall into place. So let me share this video with you. I listened to this recently. I had known about the background information, but seriously. And by the way, thank you for the 10 people that are watching the stream right now. I know DJ Cobra is streaming right now, but if the fact that we have 10 people over here watching, and they might not know, and we might get down to 2 people, but you know what? That's okay. Without the pushing and the constant support of DJ Cobra, we wouldn't even be sitting in front of these cameras.
Pretty much, yeah.
Swig of not water for the working man.
Swig old fashioned.
Yes. Oh, those are good, dude. All right. Hug the cactus.
Oh, but that same actor we were talking about, I liked him in that movie War Dogs. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh yeah, like
That was pretty good.
that. He cut. All right, here we go.
I can't remember the name. It's Miles
This
something.
was this is 12 years ago, and he still has not gotten the respect he deserves. Okay, this should not get copywritten, and if it
Miles
is,
Teller. That's it. That was killing me.
Yeah, Miles Teller. He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
I like people just care about the craft. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I asked Mel to present this award to me for a reason, because when I couldn't get sober, he told me not to give up hope, and he urged me to find my faith. Didn't have to be his or anyone else's as long as it was rooted in forgiveness.
Okay, so you heard that first part. This was in 2012 when Iron Man 2 was coming out and the Avengers were coming out. All right, so he was at the literal height of his popularity, and he's putting his ass on the line for something that happened about 2 or 3 years before this.
And I just want to point out, this is also before everyone hard changed their politics.
And I couldn't get hired, so he cast me in the lead of a movie that was actually developed for him, and he kept a roof over my head, and he kept food on the table. And most importantly, he said that if I accepted responsibility for my wrongdoings, and if I embraced that part of my soul that was ugly, hugging the cactus, he calls it, he said that if I hugged the cactus long enough, I'd become a man of some humility, and that my life would take on a new meaning. And I did, and it worked. All he asked in return was that someday I help the next guy in some small way. It's reasonable to assume that at the time he didn't imagine the next guy would be him. Or that someday was tonight. So anyway, on this special occasion, and in light of the recent holidays, including Columbus Day, I humbly ask that you join me, unless you are completely without sin, in which case you picked the wrong industry.
Oh, I talked over that. Hold on.
My friend his trespasses off.
All right, listen to this, guys.
Industry. I humbly ask that you join me, unless you are completely without sin, in which case you picked the wrong industry. In forgiving my friend his trespasses, offering him the same clean slate you have me, and allowing him to continue his great and ongoing contribution to our collective art without shame. He's hugged the cactus long enough.
Oh. Those little shorts, good actors. See, and that's what's up. And honestly, that's such a great, and that was from the heart, because that guy, like Robert Downey Jr., for those of you who don't know, he had a lot of second chances, and then he had no chances, and Mel Gibson just put it, and that's where we need to get back to. There might be people in your life, you might not understand that they are like, okay, they're getting hell, they're infected by the woke mind virus, but you know what? Little by little, they'll come back over to this side, and as long as you show a little forgiveness, it goes a long way, because there's a lot of people that just want to be right, and they don't understand that being wrong is the best way to be. Like, you just need to learning is more important than being right every single time.
So what was it that Mel Gibson did besides that phone call that was leaked out by his ex-wife in a vengeful move? What else did he do besides that?
He did call a female cop sugar tits on a few months before that, which I don't see a problem with this, but yep. See, Isaac beat me to it because there's a delay. So yeah, Isaac, you and me, buddy, you and me. But he's a slightly crazy man, and we love him. So I'm hoping before my time in this earth is done that I get to see an old man Mad Max. I think it's going to happen.
Damn, did he say that? Holy.
That's funny. That's funny. I don't know.
I think.
All right, now back to the video after that ADD riddled aside. So still talking. He's like, "Hey, have me on your show, you son of a bitch." He's like, "I see you. You're his producer. I'm gonna punch you in the face." Yeah,
I really do think that Joe Rogan will have him on his show before November.
Oh, he's just farming it, dude. You do it seriously. You like, if you have tomatoes and they're still growing and they're not quite red and ripe yet, why are you gonna pick them off the vine, man? Let them sit there. It's still growing. He's like a few months away from just having the best interview ever. He's going to go over the top, you know.
And I mean, Joe Rogan has already been thrown through the ringer with these people, with the whole like Spotify and him like not censoring himself and stuff like that. Remember that? They were trying to cancel him.
The ivermectin shit. They're trying to make him look like he was dying. Yeah.
Yep.
That, but and then the Spotify. Yeah, there was like you had Neil Young. That's a real go getter right there. Somebody that's not even like pertinent to people our age. We're in our early 40s, and I'm like, what? Like, who's that guy? That was somebody that my parents listened to. Like, he's like,
there was millions of dollars that exchanged hands just to smear Joe Rogan around the 2020 times.
Yep. And you know what? He came out on top.
Yeah, he did.
And that's why he's so popular, is because he just wants to talk. He might have dumb opinions. I think we all do at some point. His are more dumb than others, but he just talks. He's never going to say that he's perfect, and that's why people like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we need to get back to. That's why people love him, because he wants to have a conversation. Whether or not he's right or wrong, he does it in good faith, and that's all I ever ask. People like Destiny, he just wants to own your ass. People like Vosh, he wants to own a horse's ass. You know, it's just like, just to have a good faith conversation. You being right and dunking on somebody. Even Ben Shapiro, when you go to college, I'm like, yeah, you're smarter than a 19-year-old. Good for fucking you. You know, you understand, like that's such a you know, that's such a weak own, and it's not good for the war. Like, you need to debate somebody that's on your level. And yeah, they might be bad faith, but you can't just dunk on a kid. Essentially, it works for a second, but it inevitably backfires. So, anyways,
yeah.
In honor of Pride Month and really queer drinking glasses, we have a special guest on our show.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying his glasses.
I know.
His glass is June 1st to June 30th, and if it was June 31st, it'd be that too. It's Hayden Wayne 75. Hello, you red-headed magnificent bastard.
Yeah. So my drinking glass is awesome. It's a very nice color of red. It's got a pretty golden emblem on it. It's a very nice glass. It's a very expensive glass.
Very nice glass.
You know what? Hey, send me the link to buy one just so I can.
They were a limited edition item that I had to order from Japan.
He just wants to make sure that he doesn't want to share the URL. It's rainingmen.com.
I mean, it was close. It was close.
Oh no.
Dude, I'm at work, man. See, and that's the problem. Everybody tells me start a channel. I'm like, I'm at work in a very tiny room, and right now I'm just on my phone connected to a Bluetooth headset.
Like pro tip, get a lapel mic from Sony. It's like, I know Sony is Sony, but that's entertainment. The Sony lapel mic is what most of your YouTubers use. So it's only $20. Put that shit up there. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's the best voice ever. It's the best microphone.
Pull up Sony's logo right now. That's on Twitter. Here, I'll pull it up.
I'll do it, and then I'll pull up the Middle Eastern one. Methinks if they. Right.
Here, I got it ready to go. I'm going to share my screen.
I'm going to break this shit in a second, but I'm going to try to do something now.
I like how they have the black and the brown on the letter Y, because that's what I say. Y.
We're going to talk about this a little bit on my show tomorrow, but I find it funny that they're not just putting the logo over an entire trans or gay flag anymore. They're being more subtle about it. I think that we're gaining ground. So
they got ratioed out of their gourd. They have, LGBT tech, it works 59% of the time. What the hell does that mean? All right.
Well,
so It's an
I think
aside,
it-
but this is politics. It's always in motion. Oh, always in motion. Politics is. So let's look at this goofy shit. I swear, the more and more I watch Superman from the 1970s, the more I root for Lex Luthor. I liked his idea. It was really good. There we go. Ugh. Gross.
Yeah.
Gross
Look,
people.
they-
I'm seeing
but-
it.
We knew
they-
it was coming.
They're not on an entire flag anymore. They're being really subtle with it being in just the logo itself. You can, at first glance, you can hardly tell. You know what I mean?
Has
Yeah,
anybody noticed if Xbox has done it yet?
Xbox has not done it, but they've been putting stuff
The
out
Halo.
supporting.
Halo. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
So
So
we're gonna-
that monstrosity that they released, what was it, a year or two ago?
yeah, I'm stringing all that stuff together and I'm gonna aggregate it for tomorrow. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice shameless plug of my stream. I appreciate it.
yep, no problem.
But so yeah, but if you scroll down the first post, it has gotten yeeted out of oblivion.
Oh, I didn't even notice this.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
And let's look at the stupidity and then go look at the ratio. That's all. Oh,
It's
not
not the biggest
even
ratio,
close.
but it is a ratio.
Oh, it's almost 2-1. That's a pretty good ratio because you have bots. You have bots like bots that are for engagement farming, and then you have bots who live with 5 other roommates and have a ferret and 6 kittens. So
Yeah, I don't want this kind of tech because 42% of the problem you're gonna have to file for a warranty.
yes,
You know?
that's what I'm
But,
saying.
and here's the thing. So Sony, as a company, would you like to posit a guess as to who has heavy influence in Sony?
Is it like a particular thing that helps you cross like a body of water, maybe?
Is it a geographic like part of is it topographically related, and is it late never mind, go ahead.
No,
I'm tired.
give up.
It's been really hot today, all right? I've been working my ass off. Shut up.
Me too.
Isaac got in my head. Isaac's been like shitting on me the entire stream.
I
Fuck
think you were trying to
Isaac.
go for land bridge.
Yeah.
I was trying to be
that's
smart. I was going the Dennis Miller route to try to describe a rock, but instead I went the Rocky Dennis route.
Well,
Yeah.
Dennis Miller's kind of retarded, so that makes sense.
I mean, you nailed it. But yes, it is bridge. Sony is one of the major bridge partners, and with the stuff that from what I've seen, and I haven't, I've been busy.
There it is.
That's perfect. But so I haven't been able to do a whole lot of digging myself just yet. But from what I'm hearing, they're going to use June to push really hard with some of this stuff.
Bring it.
Oh yeah, the memes are the best. I love how everybody just knows this is coming.
God.
What? Dude, I love the German flags where they like there's this thing, I can't remember what it's called, but basically they take the pride flag and they put the actual like nation's flag in there. So they have American flags that are like the LGBTQ flag. Oh.
That
Weird.
one's actually more interesting than the Middle Eastern one.
It definitely is, but it is like because it's still trying to make its way into Japan because they have and with the discussions that various people have been having over the past couple of weeks, whatever, with everything going on, where they're talking about the Super Mario, the making that one character now that it's a trans instead of one of what was a brother who was actually an otokonoko, which is the Japanese equivalent of like a femboy.
Yeah, it's like Eddie Izzard, if you know who that is.
Right. Yeah.
He's a guy, but he kind of does.
Why couldn't-
he wears like girls' clothes and stuff like that. But he's not.
Why
he's
can
not, he's
people
not even
no
effeminate.
longer?
Yeah.
Like they won't let people be just gay anymore. You're not allowed to be gay or effeminate, right? it's because the ideology has rooted itself so deep, and this is, I mean, it's purely satanic stuff. Like if we look at it, it's the worship of self and self identity and trying to make yourself a god, playing creation. Like it's the worst possible things in humanity, all put into one ideology that literally has the opinions that they will that it's okay for them to come after you because you disagree with them, whether that be vocally or violently. They believe
Yeah.
in it.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: it's a retardation feedback loop, because the only reason it exists is because of comfortability and success in society. Do people understand here? Like my woke sister thought when I said people that are on welfare in America are amongst the top 1% in posterity
Yes,
in the entire world, and she's like,
absolutely.
please. And I'm like, no, it's serious. Like everybody, almost everybody in America, like rural Appalachian people, they might be in the 2%, but like there's a lot more poor people than that.
Mhm.
And what happens is they get so bored with being affluent to the rest of the world that they have to. So the fact that there is a segment of society that still is like can succeed and doesn't have to worry about where they're going to get food next. They don't have to hunt a water buffalo or any of that shit.
Right.
It feeds in to the idiots that are supporting like this racial thing. It's like, no, like look, we're not a perfect country, but you don't just throw it out the window. Like,
no, I think it's important that people remember food's not just at the store.
So the people feeding on the good graces of society are attacking it. And those people at the bottom of intelligence, by the way, not the bottom of income. So the people that are rich and are like benefit more so than anybody on this panel or anybody in this chat or anybody that's ever going to watch this video. You might be doing well. You might make a lot of money, but you're not going to be as rich as the people that support all of the stupid LGBTQ LMNOP shit that's out there. And they're trying to support, and all they're doing, and the funny thing is they're keeping the people down that need to be held to account for their laziness. And that's the
Absolutely.
whole thing. It's weird. The top worthless people are supporting the bottom worthless people, and it's like going around in a circle. And it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. And if you try to call it out, you're racist. Fuck you.
Well, I mean,
Fuck you.
I think we've talked about it before, right? This is the rat utopia experiment. That's what we're living in right now.
Pretty
where
much.
they gave the rats all the food, all the space that they could possibly need, and that they would all be happy with. And you have the beautiful ones who became obsessed with grooming themselves. You had where they transitioned into finding other partners, shall we say, where they started creating their own problems within this controlled environment because there was no struggle.
And you know what? Matrix Reloaded, when he talks to the architect, I don't think they knew how on the nose it was. By the way, if you needed proof that men are better at producing movies than women in the same family, look at the Wachowski brothers. They made way better movies than the Wachowski.
And then their sisters, yeah,
the sisters suck. The brothers are awesome, but no, seriously, it's just like it's insane. Like the lack of the importance doesn't depend. Like, it's always the old adage from back in the day, even in the comics, they would pose this question. Seems apropos since we have somebody named Hayden Wayne in here. They asked Batman, what happens when you get all the criminals? What do you do? Do you start finding more and more criminals? Do you find it, like, what do you do? Do you
once your purpose is served, like, and that's kind of what we're looking at now, right? Like in the United States, as far as the world goes, we've pretty much reached peak humanity. Nobody has any fucking problems. We're so far removed from our problems that the economy is absolute dog shit, and we're still coming up with other people's problems to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. And that's the problem with like when you and I talked about it on another stream. It's basically like you inherit like whatever society's baseline is, that's what you think you deserve. That's what you think that you think you inherited that. With me,
Mhm.
it was color TV and recording shows, which was revolutionary. All right.
Right.
For the next generation, they always thought dial-up internet or some kind of internet was around, and you had DVDs. The next generation had cell phones and smartphones and social media. Like they just assume it was always there because they don't know any better. So we'll
Yeah.
keep going and going that direction, but now it's starting to go a different direction because we progressed to a point where we've fallen off a cliff, and now it's
Yep.
regressive. And now, like my son, who's going to be 11, he values going outside more than being on his tablet.
That is so
Not because
awesome
I
to hear.
push him that way, but that a lot of people are that way because that's just how it goes. Like we used to be like a congregated news source was something that we thought was great. You know,
Right.
Tom Brokaw, Peter Jennings, you know, all
Mhm.
that stuff. And then it regressed back to what it was, which was to local reporting to the point where it was like literally somebody in your town could report on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know,
And one thing that I think about sometimes is like I think my age group is truly the last age group that grew up without all of the tech stuff. Because I can remember whenever I was, 8, 9, 10 years old, I was running around with my friends. We found this little alleyway behind somebody's house where we built a tree fort and stuff. We were outside all the time, but we also grew up with the internet. I remember us getting our first computer at home, and
Mhm.
my dad was a teacher for a long time, and at a college. And I remember whenever he got his first computer at the college that he taught at, and I'd be able to go up there and just browse the internet. And in that time, at that age, it was just typing random shit into into the address bar at the top and just seeing what pops up.
Yeah, you could say that again. I found a lot of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
think we all found very similar things around that time.
I'm just saying.
But I think that because I did grow up with internet, with computer, with video games and stuff. But my first gaming console was we had an NES and a Sega Genesis.
Oh, which, by the
And
way, I have right over here over my shoulder, right
very
behind my
nice.
American flag.
But I got to grow up with that, and then I remember whenever we first got dial-up internet, and we would the internet at that time, it wasn't as much of a social place as it eventually became, right? It was more of you go do something on the internet at your home, and then you still go hang out with your friends, go outside, go play, go do stuff. I didn't have my first cell phone until I think, my 17th birthday was when I got my first phone. And
I was out on
it
my
was a
own.
Sony Ericsson.
Yeah, mine was a Verizon Peanut phone, and they would replace your antenna for free. And then I found out later the antenna didn't do anything; it was just there for fun. So you'd pay $15 for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, it's amazing. I
remember
can't believe
hearing
they got
about
sued. I can't believe they got sued. Anyways,
Crazy.
hey, Danky.
Yo, thank you. What's up, man?
Dude, absolutely
In
destroyed
case you're
people.
wondering, Isaac made a completely gay meme of us in Meme War.
No, he made a gay meme of me, and everybody else looked fairly cool.
No, he made another one with me embracing you.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It looks like you're the
All right.
bitch in the situation, by the way. So,
All right.
yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
All right,
Well,
let's see it. Let's see it.
All right.
I don't think you should put it up on the screen.
No, I will.
No.
I don't know. I like.
We're gonna have to ban Isaac, I think.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
Isaac. I hope you had fun. It was really nice having you in the Discord, but GTFO. This makes me so sad.
No, Isaac, you can stay, dude. Yeah.
Okay, so you know which one Isaac loves most? He looks like he cut you out in 2 seconds. He took his time with me.
That's
He
true.
cut a,
He did.
look at my
He
beard.
did.
Look how well defined my beard is. Like,
Yeah, but
He
look
got
how much
every
I
bit
hit-
of background out.
Look how much I hit the gym. You just have
I was gonna say.
you just have
here's
like
my problem. I don't know where your right hand is, so I don't know where Alec Baldwin's finger is. I'm very afraid.
Yeah, the left hand's on the stomach in a very gay embracing way. The right hand, we don't know exactly.
Is it on the equal part of the backside, or is it dropped a little lower?
I don't know. I'm guessing Mo
Looking
has
like
a
it's pretty
tramp
low.
stamp.
Judging by the shoulder, it looks like it's very low.
It looks like it's low. Yeah,
It looks like
that's
it's
what
pretty
I'm
low.
saying.
Yes.
I mean, you definitely have a tramp stamp if you turn around in that picture.
I agree with that.
Oh my god, that's great.
Don't make excuses. You'll get no pity from me, sir. That is really disturbing. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac, for derailing the stream, as if we didn't need it again. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, no, that's pretty hilarious.
It's
That's just
super
how-
cursed, but damn.
It's cursed is putting it lightly. So, well, we've hit one of our topics, not completely, by the way. Let's see. So I want to go to the next one, which I think is the most important news to relay, because I wouldn't say I was black-pilled, but I was like wondering where the next thing was going, you know. But this is how the great thing about capitalism and a representative republic is money talks and bullshit walks. Well, guess what? Money has been standing at the top of the mountain and yelling its ass off because Mr. 45 should have always been 45, and 47 has received $2 million in total since the last 2 days. He's received $1/5 billion.
Get 200 million.
200 million. No.
So he made, I believe it was 52 million the day of the verdict, and that was when his website was mostly
Yeah.
offline.
Yes,
Imagine
it was
if it was
within
up-
24 hours. Their final number, I think, was $54 million in 24
54.
hours. Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've had people like, I don't know if you saw the Charlemagne the God interview. They're like interviewing people. They're like, hey, and I agree with them. I have friends back in Indiana I play basketball with. They were convicted felons. They went to jail, and they're really good people. I don't even know what they went to jail for, but they're good people. And he's like, yeah, man. It's like, I know felons. They're good people. You damn right I'm voting for Trump. Like, all they did was secure, like, the 30s and 40-year-old, they don't know how to market. Okay, I need to share this because they're the most like low T segment of the internet, and you already know who I'm talking about. Let's SISSON, CSON, the CSON brothers. Harry CSON.
Oh yeah, those weirdos.
Those fruits, yes.
Those totally not paid Biden chills.
Totally not. It's not that they admitted to it in a conversation with Tom Dillon, but you know, I digress.
Are you talking about when they were dancing around?
It was so, like, seriously. I'm going to be in my mid-40s soon, and I thought it was cringe. If I think it's cringe, ew. Oh my goodness, seriously.
You might as well show that GIF of dies of cringe to go with it.
Yes, give me something for the cringe and let me die. All right, so I'm gonna share it here.
Hairless sissy.
Hairless sissy. I'll put that up on stream. All right, let's go. Let's fucking go. Listen to that shit.
Oh God, I saw this. Yeah.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
This makes me want to make myself a part of the fucking.
I think we just lost subs. Holy shit! I think we lost subs.
Good Lord, it's Men's Health Awareness Month, and that just made me want to. Well, yeah.
Made you turn your glass upside down and sit on it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. At the very least, like I don't understand. Like, does somebody think that that's gonna get Gen Z to vote for them?
Well, there's a lot of figs. There's a lot of figgish children out there, even amongst the somewhat based ranks. But lazy parents make shitty children. If
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
true.
Like my whole weekend has been Hoarders Junior trying to get all of the shit out of my son's room. That it's like literally for Disney XD, like it was like a Hoarders episode. It was like how much shit do you have in your room? And it was insane. You know, so we were dealing with that. Most parents are like, they're just expressing themselves.
Well,
and I'm
that
like,
post, that post was definitely to content farm. They didn't think that they were going to do any pushing there. They were just trying to get their numbers up so they could get that Twitter check. That's all. That's all.
You really think so? Because I think that was something that was and I don't know what their Twitter
can't
numbers
possibly
are.
think that posting something like that, dancing on someone's grave, would actually win people over. Right?
No, I think that we have gone far enough that the regime that's in power thinks that that's exactly what people want to see.
Maybe so.
I don't want to correct them at all.
Like I think that the Biden administration is so out of touch with reality, but that they're trying to do everything that they can because of what's popular on TikTok, dances. You see all these kids doing their weird little fucking dances on TikTok. It's all over the fucking place. So I think the administration, their whoever their PR person is that goes out and hires all these influencers and shit like that. But well, just like do a little dance and just say we got him or something like that, and people are gonna love it. You're gonna blow up. It's gonna be great. And they're just, as far as everything I've seen, they're just relentlessly getting mocked.
As well they should. I mean, the fucking Harry doesn't have a top set of teeth. So as far as I can tell, dude's like he's half a man and he's got like meth mouth. So
I think those two kids might be worse than the Krasensteins.
I think so because the Krasensteins at least will try to debate, even though they're not good at it.
Their brains made of mashed potatoes, but yeah, they at least try to talk to people.
If their brains made of mashed potatoes, what are their assholes made out of? That's my question.
Oh God, no.
I can't bring him back on. He disconnected his mic and his camera.
Holy shit.
Literally destroyed Hayden's life.
I mean, you were talking about
he's gone. What happened? I killed Hayden.
You were talking about a food group, and then you switched over to his ass, and it kind of sounded like you wanted to eat out ass in a roundabout way.
I mean, in and of itself, it's not a bad thing, but anyways. Okay, thank you, Hayden, for jumping back in and interrupting.
We're not going to talk about that again, are we? It's like I'll leave.
No, not unless our viewership goes down again. In which case, I'll bring you up. So, I will sacrifice you at the altar of YouTube notoriety. So,
it's perfectly fine.
Better you than my children. So,
I've got because I'm a
you got that reference?
fingering retard. I accidentally hit the wrong button and it just disconnected everything.
I was like, man, he really sold that. I was like, damn, he really got angry. I was like, well,
I meant to back out and it just crashed everything on my phone, so I had to come back in.
Well, you're already doing better than Project Taco. He did it about 17 times. So
yeah, well, it's because everything's written in English, so that's probably
he was guessing. It's like whenever you play a Japanese game and you're looking for the way to change the language settings.
But he who has not played Mother 2, not cast the first stone. Anyways,
by the way, that's why I started learning Japanese, because whenever I was playing a Japanese game, I at least now know how to find the language settings instead of fumbling through every other setting.
Absolutely. Well, we're through 10% we need to get those numbers up. We're through 10% of. I'm gonna skip a few of these because it's like, well, that's news. Like, oh, Joe Manchin is not a Democrat. No shit.
All
As
right,
somebody who has a
whatever.
lot of family in West Virginia, you kidding me? And then we have.
Well, that's so real quick on the thing with Joe Manchin. It's like, unless he stops caucusing with Democrats and associating with Democrats completely, and has actually had a
Thank
wake
you.
up call, none of it matters at all.
And by the way,
It's like
for those of you that are not familiar with the term caucus, it's literally the team you suit up with. You put on the uniform and you vote with them. Whether or not you actually vote with them, you're on their team. You might be sitting the bench. You might be from Wyoming and nobody gives a shit. Yeah.
You can sit the bench, but the whole point is you're sitting back in the coat room with that group of people, and you're all discussing what you want to go to the other side with to try to negotiate. And if you're still sitting in that coat room with them discussing what you're going to try to negotiate, you're still on their side, dude. Like, you just unregistering as a Democrat doesn't matter at all, because I could go register right now as a libertarian, and due to some of the like voting rules and stuff in Texas, I can still vote on the Republican primary if I wanted to.
Yeah, sometimes being independent means you can vote on either side.
Yeah, and
Isaac is bringing the heat
most
tonight.
places.
I see.
Yeah, I was gonna say caucus might mean something different in June.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, look, Biden's about to lose to DeSantis, who ate his balls a few months ago, and Trump is just stealing Biden's lunch. Not that Biden would know that his lunch was stolen, but you know, it's
as long as he still gets his pudding.
He has pudding, but it's between his ears. So
True.
You watch your mouth. You watch your mouth there, sir. You son of a bitch. I know where you live. It's between buttermilk and flour. I'll find you. All right. So yeah, that's definitely like the only when you know things are going south is when you have a very heavily biased poll like 538 and stuff like that. And if Trump is winning there, you know that there's a massive spread there. But
and also just as like asterisk, like it's only been a few days since this news, so this is one of the first polls that we've seen, so we don't really know until it's been like a couple weeks.
Well, but even then, remember that the memory of the voter is so short that you don't know. Something can change in 2 months drastically whenever it comes to election time.
Well, I mean, it'll be kind of a test when we see the Biden administration say the word felon over and over, what that's going to do to people's minds when they're doing these actual polls. So,
yeah, and I think something that, you know, people think about is what's the summer going to look like and going into election season, right? Like, I don't see, and here's the problem is I don't think it's necessarily going to be that, like a lot of people do. A lot of people think there's going to be riots, stuff like that. But
I don't
why?
think so.
They're in power. What they're going to try to do is provoke. And it's like AJ, good old AJ said a couple of days ago. He's like, you know, keep your eye open for potential, instead of using their terms or the terms that YouTube might be looking for, let's just say red flag operations, right? Like, because the next big rally that happens, there are going to be agent provocateurs that are trying to kick something up, and it's going to be reliant on the people that are there to resist that completely.
Well, look at what Whitmer did to people's minds before the 2020 election.
Mm-hmm.
I got talking through, you know, so many people that were Biden voters because of that. They were like, "Oh, what about, you know, these Trump supporters going and trying to kidnap the governor or whatever?" Well, it turns out that wasn't really real. So
it didn't happen. And for anybody who doesn't know, I do think they ended up getting one guy on some kind of charge, but the other guys that were there, it was like they just proved that it was
The guy
FBI.
pleaded guilty because he was an idiot. He didn't.
That's what
hold
it was.
out.
That's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yep. Because the other guys got acquitted because they proved that the FBI instigated them into it and talked them into doing this, then gave them all the supplies, and the people with them were FBI agents.
Yeah, here's a prepaid gift card. Go buy guns and ammo with it. It was like 15 feds and 3 people. 2 of them got off. The other one was too retarded.
It literally,
Yep.
like, you joke, but it was like literally there was more feds in that group than there were people. Whether
Way
it was
more.
like one more,
Way more.
like there shouldn't be one in that group. There should
Absolutely.
be one in there out. It should be like, oh yeah, to get the information.
And
you're out.
here's
Mhm.
this is one of the things that broke like any semblance of trust that I would have had with the FBI, because they egged these people on. These other people, they released the chat logs where the regular people were like, yeah, I don't know if we should be talking like that. I don't know if we should do things like that. Like, we shouldn't. Hang on, guys. And the FBI actually created their own crime and then arrested men based on a crime they created.
Yep.
Like,
Totally.
just to give this fun little bit of information, my grandfather, he served in police, and he was very high up. And I went and saw him. Well, this would have been last year or the year before, and we were driving down the road, and his fancy sports car that he's got that he just absolutely loves. And him, my dad, and I are all talking, and my granddad, who is a by the book law dog, like old school, said, as we're driving, and my dad was talking about the FBI and stuff, and my grandpa just goes, fuck the FBI. You hadn't been able to trust those fuckers for 40 years. I used to work with them, and eventually I just stopped trying to, because those guys, they're out to get everybody. I was like, oh, 40 years ago? You knew that? Okay, all right. So it's a much deeper problem than we ever thought. And now they're exposed to everybody, and they don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah. No, I mean, J. Edgar Hoover was a tranny. So, what do you expect?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just saying. But you're not wrong. I was lucky enough, speaking of West Virginia and Joe Manchin, I was raised by somebody that was libertarian conservative before it was popular, because everybody else in my dad's family is a fucking retard. I know. I've been to the family meetups. I literally had my aunt tell me, I don't need to do research. I can vote however I want. And she's from Chicago. And I'm like, ugh. Thankfully, it's a drop in the bucket of shit. It's not like she's in like a red state or a purple state. So it's not like she's helping anything. So yeah, but seriously. And by the way, if anybody in the family watches this, I meant it. Fuck off.
See, that's the thing. Like,
if you're offended by that, it's a continuation of the last 35 years. So fuck off.
Yeah, most family, be sure to like and sub the stream.
Well, if they could read, that would probably be helpful. Anyways, if you those in my family would not be offended by that, they'll laugh. Those that are offended, get a wet wipe.
You're disowned. You're disowned.
Well, I don't give a fuck. So it's funny. It's funny. Ignorance is a brain tumor, and the less you tend to it, the more it'll invade your brain, and then you'll just be.
Well, but keep in mind, like you said earlier, if any of them do start to wake up, it's one of those situations where you embrace them with open arms and you go, hey, you're finally seeing it? All right. Come over here. We'll actually show you what's going on.
Absolutely. I'm holding out hope, though, I'm not holding out much hope for my side of the family. My sister, of all people, who lives in LA, is the closest to coming back over the precipice. So
she's in LA. It's a miracle she isn't.
Yeah, and she's an actress, so it's like it's legitimate. The rest of them are just
I'm seeing a trend.
Yeah. No, I have a friend that I play. Okay. Judge me if you want to. I love player-unknown battlegrounds. They don't do woke shit. They just don't.
Right. That's
The
fair.
last time somebody tried to do woke shit, it was the guy that started it. What is his name? Player Unknowns. They said, "Okay, get lost."
Yes, that.
And
No
they
kidding.
couldn't- Brendan Green, because everybody says like, but he's like, "Oh well, and he's like, "Okay, bye." They fired him immediately after
Well,
him.
they're
doing
owned by
Virtue Sig-
Tencent now, right?
Yeah, but no, the main studio is Krafton. They're definitely heavily Korean based if you look at their skins and stuff like that, but they're based in such a way. Like they do a really good job, but the point is I play with a bunch of people online from around the world, and the person I played with online the most, he was born in San Francisco, raised in the mountains of California, lives in Nevada. But he asked me to get What is a Woman from Joe Walsh and so he could watch it because he wasn't on Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and he agrees with the pronoun thing. Cause we had a guy that's like, what's wrong with pronoun? He's from Texas and thought he was like a conservative. And he's like, pronouns. And it's like, don't you have pronouns? And I'm like, you motherfucker. And I
Yeah,
like
you
laid
don't
into
even
him.
know.
And
No.
the guy that grew up in San from fucking Cisco said, yeah, pronouns are bullshit. We have hope, people. We have hope.
Absolutely.
And all you have to do is joke about it. Joke about
Yes,
it.
because and I've been saying this for a while, and because like I've said before, like I came from a more political background and stuff, and you know, as we all kind of know here, like we've all seen this as it was coming, and we tried to fight the logical battle.
Oh yeah,
But you
totally.
can't fight a logical battle and win against something that frankly is demonic. But
Yeah.
if you look at the Bible at all, and if you don't, just as an aside, the thing that the devil and demons hate the most is what?
Like,
Being
To be
exposed.
mocked.
Yeah,
Oh,
be
no,
mocked.
To be mocked and laughed at and ridiculed.
Mhm.
And that's why we see them lashing out so hard. That's why we see Alyssa McCunty going after JT so hard, going after Grum so hard, because they're just pointing at what they're doing and then kind of laughing at it, being like, you guys are fucking retarded. And, they can't handle it. The minute you look at them point and laugh, they have total freakouts. And you just have to be careful if you do it in person, because they will lash out violently.
And by the way, Isaac is making a good point here. Like people talk about like your Jack Murphys and say what you will about Andrew Tate and all that stuff. There's one book that gets it right. And you can say, "Oh, you're a shill. You don't, the Bible, if you follow the tenets of marriage and how you like there's one instruction manual that actually works, and it's
Mhm.
worked for 2,000 years.
Yep.
I'm about
It
to
helped
celebrate
to
my
build a
19th
whole
anniversary, and it's not because I thought I knew the answers. There was a book that has all the answers, and if you don't think that just has all the answers, I got news for you. That means you're gay. So,
Well, and the one thing I'd add is, even if you're not Christian, you're not religious, you're
Yeah.
atheist, you don't care, you don't care about any of that, it's still a book that is filled with some interesting stories and moral quandaries and stories of the way that people made decisions about things.
excellent advice for
Absolutely.
relationships, personal relationships, whether or not you should ignore somebody if they get too toxic. I hate to use that terminology, but there's going to be people that are teenagers watching this. Like it covers all that stuff. And it's amazing that this book is 2,000 years old and written in a dead language, but yet it's right all the time. Every single time. It's the Colt 45 of books.
True.
That's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying like if there's literally atheists that have done studies. They'll like live a Christian life for a month and they'll adhere to it. And they're like, well, I don't want to be a Christian, but you know what? There's a lot of good advice in it. It's undefeated. Like if you just follow it, because the only reason it's defeated is because we're all fallen. We all fall well short whether or not it's God's glory, or if you're like a spiritualist, it's cosmic glory. We just have problems. We're humans. We're going to be human. To be human is to be constantly in the pursuit of doing what is right and what is just and what is good. And we all fall short. And you should judge it. You should hate the sin and not the sinner. Do not attack people for what they do. There are certain people on YouTube that I used to enjoy that are going through rough times right now, and on its face it looks really bad. But you know what? I'm certainly not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because there's a lot of things that it doesn't look like he deserves the benefit of the doubt. But nobody is beyond forgiveness ever. There's two rules I have in life. Nobody's beyond retribution. Never celebrate the death of somebody else. I don't care if they killed your parents.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you.
Because it's so easy to look into the abyss and have it look back to you, and you'll be just as evil as that is what you hate. So, and on that, I hate to cut it short, but you know what? I got to keep people one. Isaac wants my body. Do you think I'm sexy, Isaac? I know Big Dog Jake does, because he keeps saying it in the chat. Love you too, buddy. But I'd like to thank everybody. We got 14 people during a Cobra cast. Are you kidding me?
Dude, that's
insane.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Crazy. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out.
It might be because we have aside from me, I contribute about $30 a month to Day Cobra. Alec Baldwin's finger and Hayden contribute to his pool house. He wouldn't have built it without them. So I'd like to thank them for being on the stream and stealing money from him. So thank you. Thanks everybody for coming out. It's been a really fun stream. I think we haven't covered too many news stories, but we've covered a lot of really pertinent, salient points in today's society. And if you interact with somebody you might not agree with, you'd be surprised, if you just be patient and you talk with them, how much you can move that needle and bring them back to the light side. If we can bring Darth Vader back to the light side, anything's possible. So thank you for watching Reluctant Rebel. I hope to see you next week or whenever there's another emergency cast, which there might be. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. We're the best channel. We may not be the biggest channel, but we're the best channel.
Everybody says.
Yes. And come here for Isaac's memes, as much as I hate them. So
No.
Thank you.
They're great.
Don't be reluctant. Rebel. That's all we have in society. Make your opinion known. Be a good person. Stand up to atrocities and tyranny, and we will repair this republic in short order. Thank you for coming out, guys. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.